Here, go ahead.
So Cheryl and I got her here together to talk about this workshop we're putting together that's happening on February 2nd to the 4th in Venice Beach, California. And we wanted to go over some of the things that's going to happen in the workshops and the workshop, and talk about a little bit of the work I do and what I do and how I do it. And Cheryl's gonna ask me some questions, and I'll answer them as best as I can. Um, do you want to say anything?
Great. So I'm psyched. Right now, we are at 28 days. It's a 28-day countdown to the workshop. And I'm psyched to be helping you produce it and supporting in production. And so today we're just going to go over some bullet points about the workshop. I'm going to ask you some questions about your work and the intention of your work and why should people come and what will people be working on in the course. So tell us about the types of people that should come register for your course, or what they should potentially have in mind or be ready to work on.
The types of people. Wow. Men, a workshop is for men. Um, and I've worked with all men from all walks of life. I work from young adults like 19 years old and older to 40-year-old virgins to porn stars and tech people and military people and all walks of life. But if they have something in common, is that there's a hunger and willingness to understand and have more fulfilling intimacy and relationships. This thing, this creature called a woman, it's a very mysterious creature for the man, and men seek to understand and be able to connect better and have better flow and understanding and less drama and more love and more intimacy and more passion and more sex. And it's one thing to want it, but there's another thing to recognize that you are contributing piece to that and willing to do the work to do the work on your side to contribute to that. So those are the type of men that should come. If you're willing to and ready to do some work to change your reality around intimate relationships, then you should be there.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about the flow of the weekend? How it goes, a little bit about the scheduling.
The flow of the workshop. So I put a lot of value on brotherhood and brotherhood and the relationship and our relationship with other men. I think it's very important to have healthy relationship and healthy intimacy with other men as well. So Friday is all about connecting in a communion, like almost connecting with the men, creating a container, creating intention, and supporting each other, coming together, knowing that the men are gonna go together through this experience as brothers, as supporting each other and loving each other through everyone's challenges, and really making that connection and just really diving deep to why you came, why you're there. And then I think that what's the most unique thing about my workshop is that all the exercises are not they're very most of the exercises are done with women. So Saturday and Sunday we're gonna have women there, like Arrow and many others, where the men gonna get to do exercises with women and get direct feedback of how you're showing up in the world in the eyes of the opposite sex. And one thing that's quite phenomenal that happens to me that always blows my mind is the feedback you get from the women, where I've had women that are like done a lot of work and they're therapists and coaches and tantricas, and I had an 18-year-old woman that's never heard about transformation, and they'll come and they give you exact same feedback. So you get to hear from different women, and then you just really start to learn about how you're showing up and how you could show up differently in order to get different results. So that's kind of, I guess.
So when you say exercises with women, what does that mean? Sort of like an interview, a dialogue with the women? They get to ask the women questions, or the women ask them questions?
I mean, I don't really want to talk about what the exercises are, because it's more about how the benefit of exercise, or how they're structured and how they're held versus what's happening in exercise. I can have a man and a woman just eye gaze, and there's so much that can happen inside. It's all how it's facilitated, right? Like, and just if they're eye gazing, the woman can tell you back, like, okay, like, you're disconnected, you're distant, you're being a douchebag, even if you're not saying anything. If you put slight adjustment of how you're showing up, all of a sudden she could be like, wow, who are you? Like, so it could be as simple as just sitting in front of each other and eye gazing, or it could be a lot more elaborate. The workshop is small. We wouldn't want to have more than 15 people at the most. So some of the exercises are going to be very improvised and very like tailored specifically to the person and what they need. So they're not going to be very generic. There'll be some that are like, like generic, and there are going to be some that are tailored specifically to you. They could be some role play involved. Could be like, okay, imagine you're on a date, like sit down here and like, okay, how would you handle this situation? Or imagine you've been married for 5 years and you're sitting on the couch. So they could be, depending on what the man needs, it could be very tailored and role played in that way.
So there is individual work where you identify what each man may uniquely need for himself or want or work on.
Yes, there's definitely going to be individual. Even though, like, even if we're all 15 people doing an exercise, it is individual to each man, because each man is getting reflection. And not only that, we're going to have women to the exercises, but I like to have a huge support team. Sometimes I have bigger support than participants. And the people in my support team are all some kind of healers or coaches or therapists or of all healing modalities. So they're going to be there, and they'll be like, they're all also going to be helping you through your process. So you not only get me and my point of view, but you're going to get the support of a lot of other people that just really going to be helping you specifically on what that person needs. So, yeah.
All right, great. I think that's a great installation for a 28-day countdown, and we'll return in 48 hours for another brief chat about the workshop. Is there anything else on your mind that you want to share at this point?
I'm just really excited, and I can't wait for it.